awesome.
I love that intro music.
I am like, that's like party, party. Here comes Phil and Oscar, party, party. Yeah, well, that's the nerdiest party I've ever been
I doubt it. Let me do my adjusting of my lights, silence the the distraction vehicle here. Okay, I'm ready. What are we talking about today?
We are talking about all sorts of stuff. We're going to talk about the vote from yesterday, how exciting that is. Don't look at me like that,
For
Oscar.
some of us, it's
Don't
exciting.
look at me with that tone of voice. You know how I feel. You know how I feel.
Yes, 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 yes. I've,
So
I've seen that look before. My candidate won. My candidate won, and then they go and they
well,
crap all over you. And then what?
no,
Then we start
I
all
don't.
over.
All right, I don't look at it from that way. Okay, because I'm the optimist of this pair right here.
I used to be an optimist, and now I'm a pragmatist. I'm like,
Uh,
wait a minute.
you're just a tist. There's no optim or pessimist. You're just an ist.
I'm a, I'm, I'm a
Pessimist.
I'm a vowed political agnostic. When I see a candidate, here's my criteria. If you're going to be a candidate and you're going to get my vote, you cannot get special interest money. You cannot get lobbying money. You cannot spend 99% of your time in office trying to get reelected. And the other half,
99% of your
yeah,
time. Oh my
99%
goodness.
trying to get reelected, and the other half bowing to the corporate sponsors that paid for your finance, your campaign.
Mm,
Getting money out of politics is number one.
sad.
Aside from that, Mrs. Kennedy, it was a great day for a convertible ride.
Okay, so I mean, I get where you're coming from. My point of view is at least you get a nostalgic feeling of, well, I did have a say in who got in.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I do have. I feel like that's the exercise of our, limited freedom. But
Yes, and then I liken it to wearing a dark suit and peeing on yourself. It feels warm and fuzzy for about a minute and a half, and then you come to reality.
But here's the thing: we're voting for people. Just
That are financed by who?
I'm not saying that we should.
Corporations.
I'm not saying that we should vote for robots because that would even be worse, right?
I need to find third-party people that aren't financed by the oligarchs.
But
That's what
here's the thing: it takes so much money to
right,
run. It
right,
takes so much money to run a national campaign that
exactly.
it's like if you don't have the right sponsors, if you don't have the right people financing your campaign, you are in a doghouse issue.
Right.
Okay,
So the
and
big money finances campaigns.
mm-hmm,
So the left wing and the right wing belong to the same bird, the vulture bird that feeds
mm-hmm.
on our taxes.
So here's what we do. Here's my solution. Da, 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 da. My brain is working, and this is my solution. You can put it in the chat, everybody. If you're watching on LinkedIn or you're watching on Facebook, you can tell me what you think of my idea because I shaved all my hair off so I could get better ideas. So what if the people said, you know what? We're going to pull together and finance the candidate that we think should be in office. But we're not that organized.
Exactly.
And so it would have to form a whole new party just so that but then not everybody's going to like that party, and so they're going to form like several other parties.
We need a
And
we need a citizen populist party that looks out for our interest. Right now, we don't have that.
but
We have elected officials they've crowned themselves the ruling class. The laws that apply to you and me don't apply to them, and they keep proving it over and over again. Congress keeps doing insider trading. They passed a law a few years ago. We shouldn't do insider trading. You know what the penalty for doing insider trading if you're in Congress is?
What? Nothing.
You get a letter saying don't do that anymore. Martha Stewart went to jail for this. These guys are doing it every day, and it's
Oh,
okay.
okay. No, no. Let me say this. I don't know about that. I don't know if you have the facts to back that up. I don't know
I got
what you have. I
fact
don't know what you
fact
have. I don't
fact.
know what you have. I don't know what you have. You know, you could have. You could be. That could be written on your toilet paper in your bathroom. I don't know what it
Here's
is.
the other problem.
But
You
but
won't
wait.
find
No.
this.
Let, let
You
me
won't
let
find
me
this
say.
if you just keep looking at the lamestream media news because they're rolling on it together. I can play. I have this great clip of every major show sponsored by Pfizer. Every
Okay.
single show
No. Oh
sponsored by.
wait. I want to show you something. Okay. Imagine a world. Dun, 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 dun. See, now I just got your attention, right? Um, Imagine a world where we had no money. How
That's
would you measure
95% of the people living in this country. So
how
far we
would
got
you
that.
how would you measure power? How would we measure power and influence without money?
What can you get done?
Because here's the thing. No, here's the thing. We all need a measure, something to measure by to,
Well,
to say,
I'll
well,
give you.
we need
I'll
a
give you a
I,
great
I
example.
accomplished this,
Wait,
right?
wait.
No, hear what I'm
Gandhi.
saying. You
Gandhi
you
had no money. He had no shoes. He barely ate anything.
okay?
Huge amount of power.
Imagine, but no, that's because Gandhi knew how to use his words.
Martin Luther King didn't have
Yeah,
a whole bunch of money.
but guess what?
Got
Here's the
things done.
thing. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Just answer the question though. I asked you a question. I just want you to answer
That's
this
it. Like
question.
there are
But
people
answer the
that have lots
question.
of
No,
power
no, no, I'm not
without
talking
money.
about. I'm not talking about an
Now you're going to
individual
change the question.
person. No, it's not. I'm not changing the question. I said, what if we were a society without money? What if
Okay.
we had nothing to measure wealth and success by when it comes monetarily? All you had was when you did something, it was to the contribution of society, and everybody just kind of went, "Yay! He's a great guy."
I do that with a lot of philanthropies that I'm involved with. I'm a volunteer with Operation Underground Railroad. I'm helping out the community rebuild after the flood.
Hmm.
That's stuff that people can do without money. But
So, what if we remove? What if we remove money from our society?
how would you trade an hour of your service for what?
Well, youth service for service, or whatever, but no monetary exchange.
That's up in Alaska. If you watch the Alaskan Bush People show, they barter everything. They
Hey,
barter. Half the
I,
stuff they do is like,
I,
hey, you
I,
need work done? I need a 2x4.
well, so here's my resolve in that. My resolve is that when no matter who it is, I don't care how they started. I don't care if they came from the corner of Hodunk, you know, somewhere in America, or some other country, maybe. It doesn't matter where you came from. The moment you have enough money to say, I can do what I want, you change.
That's the old saying. Money talks, bull poopies
Walks.
walks. Yeah.
And I have not seen, there's so many, it's very rare for you to see someone other than what's his name, who I love so much. I can't remember his name
Me.
now. No, well, it is, you're in the list, but it's no, I'm talking about one of the wealthiest guys in the world there.
Not me.
No, it's not you. But anyway, he owns the same house. He owns the same house that
Oh,
he
yeah,
had
yeah, yeah, yeah.
when before he got filthy rich. Um, but anyways, it's guys like that I think should be. more of an example of,
Yeah, but guys like that, you realize, don't go into politics because you have to
no, they
give
don't.
everything, all your morals, all your goes out the window if you want to succeed in politics. You got to play their game.
Yeah. And but here's the thing, and he gives a lot of his money. I think he actually gave his goal in life is to give away all his
money. Yes.
And I can't remember his name. I know somebody needs to type it in a comment or something.
I see his face. I just can't remember his name.
If you're on LinkedIn or whatever and you know who we're talking about, send it in as a comment, even if it's after the program is done. But anyway, that guy is a prime example of how we should be, right?
Well,
because
if you know Habitat for Humanity, that was started by Mr. Fuller, who was a millionaire, and decided he just had too much money. He didn't need that much money. Sunk his money into building Habitat for Humanity, which is now the Fuller Center, and help rebuild houses and build houses for people that low income people that can't really afford a house or to have a house rebuilt. So there are people out there that are doing things with their money. The owner of Tom's Shoes, he gives away a pair for every pair that's being bought. And these are the type of entrepreneurs that we should look for, and we should support, not the Walmarts that are taking away mom and pop stores.
Okay. So, all right. Wait now. All right. Okay. Let's tap into that, because here's the thing. If I'm doing my business, I ain't trying to attack nobody, but I'm doing my business. I got the better price. I got the more decent product. People can find what they want. I'm doing business. If we're in a capitalistic society, I'm not like trying to take your world apart, but if what I'm offering, people want it, that's the supply and demand. What am I doing wrong?
Morally or business wise? Business wise, you're doing everything right.
Right.
Morally, when you set up a business that is that big, that will undercut the price of, like, if you want to sell, if you have product A, you want to sell it through this big chain store.
Yeah.
You have to jump through so many hoops and be so demoralized to be able to sell your product through that store to get it to the price that they want, that it makes your life a living hell.
Well, a lot of stores do that. That's retail. That's called retail, right?
Yes.
I mean, because they have to compete. They don't have to compete with the guy down the street. They have to compete with the Amazons and the.
Wait a minute. They don't compete with the guy down the street, because now the government comes in. Well, look what happened during the pandemic. Mom and pop stores, you cannot let anyone in your store because there's a pandemic. Walmart, yeah, stay open. You're fine. That's not free enterprise. That's the government getting their hand into how I can do business. If it's real free enterprise,
is
you got to
really
close mom and pop, and you got to close Walmart.
Is it really? Is it like, because if you think about it, essentially, right? If I'm a store, I'm putting it out there. You have a store. Okay, let's say we call you Mr. Wally. We call you Wally. You started your store in a country, in a
garage.
Basically, it's a farmhouse. Literally, if you look at it, it was a farmhouse, right? And he built this thing to what you see today. It's like, if I had a company that I work my tail off, I stay up till wee hours of the morning trying to figure out what to do next and all this stuff, and my company hits auto and it's doing its thing, and it starts to supply, meet the supply and demand of people, then you become a vital part of what society needs, versus just a small store, because you build up to that. So I don't think that it's like, where, okay, now they're all over the country, they've hired so many people. It's not like they're not contributing to the workforce. People are working for them. So it's just a matter of the natural growth of things. Should we start setting a cap on how much people?
No, but and again, it's all about supply and demand. If I vote with my dollars,
Okay.
so if I have the chance of saving $1 on this product or putting mom and pop out of business, I'll spend that extra dollar on the mom and pop place because they contribute to the community also, but they contribute more to my community being there. Like I miss the small bookstores. They used to have new books, used books, and a little place to sit and have coffee and tea while you read. They're gone. All right. And it's like, we need Amazon to send us a book overnight. And we lose the mom and pop place where I used to sit and have tea and coffee with the people in the neighborhood.
So, but who's to blame for that? Isn't it the consumer?
The consumer. I'm saying that we have to be better consumers.
Right.
Vote with your dollars and say, hey, I have the choice. I can save $1 here or spend it with a local business. I'm a little biased because I'm in the chamber. So, we support our small businesses.
Right. No, but I agree with you. I agree with you on that.
But and then we're talking about your capitalism. It's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Capitalism means I take my capital, my money, and instead of spending it on beer and cigarettes and booze, I invest it in a business. Hopefully, I make some money.
That's it.
So that works beautifully. Now, you said you get to a point where it gets so big, now you need to incorporate. Now you're a C Corp, an S Corp. Now you have investors that need their money. That's when it all goes to hell. Because now the investors want their share of profits from your business. Look what happened to Steve Jobs. Apple got so big, they said, you're fired.
Yeah.
You started this, but you're fired because we want to make more money. And you want to make crazy products without buttons. And then that fell apart, and they brought him back. But it's that when the corporations take over and the corporate entity is more important than even the workers, because you see people in Amazon and these other places that are like, we can't work like this. There's a viral video that went out from a woman working in a Walmart or one of those big stores, and just the day she quit, she let everyone there have it and let everyone know why she's quitting and how the people are being treated there, and just I'm out of here. But again, you're looking at a situation where people can't afford to quit a crappy job, because where are they going to turn to? I just watched the thing with Russell Brand did a video on these nurses that now they have robot nurses named Grace. Look it up. Grace. And they will talk to you, and they'll take temperatures, and they'll do all this stuff, everything that a nurse would do. First, we had the toll booth takers. They're replaced. Bankers are being replaced by ATM machines. Nurses, truck drivers are next. They're on their way with automated driverless trucks. How big do we need corporations to get and AI to take over? What happens to us? And that's what I'm seeing, that circle of inner circle of politicians, big business, and media. They work together for their own interest. And the little guy, who cares about the little guy? And that's the wake-up call. Like, hey,
oh man,
how come you can get your hair done in a place that's closed when nobody else can get their hair done because you're a politician? That's not right. How come your husband can go boating when no one else can go on their boat?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Here, listen here. Okay, listen, John O'Hara.
I have no idea who that is.
I have no clue. But hey, look,
John.
Okay, which are you saying that if you work for or in leadership, you shouldn't have any sort of like privileges? Is that,
Yes, but morally, and again, the
or should you come on television looking like a crow, like, you know,
no. You're
you're
saying,
all messed up and
well,
you know.
listen. If I tell you that you and everyone in your neighborhood
Mm-hmm,
cannot go to this place because I say it's closed, it's bad for you, and then I'm
mm-hmm.
going to sneak in and get everything done that you would have gotten done. You don't say, wait a minute,
Yeah, that does look
how is
kind of
that?
bad.
How is that? How are we
That does
equal
look kind of bad.
if you can do
Yeah.
that and I can't?
Here's another thing. Here's another thing. And this is the disconnect, right? The other thing is this. When you have a mental and emotional disconnect from people because you have so much money. Like, we can't afford, can you afford to have a maid come to your house and like clean everything every single day, you know, take your kids out to school or whatever? I mean, how many people can really afford the lifestyle that a lot of these people have on a whim? I mean,
Well, there's a book called the Millionaire Next Door,
mhm,
which chronicled all these people that have become millionaires, but they don't spend their money on Lamborghinis and stupid signs of wealth. It's like they
mhm.
take their money, they invest it in themselves, they invest it in the community, but nobody hears about them because they're like, oh, man, I'm trying to remember the guy's name that still has the same car that he had
Yeah,
in 19, damn, it's just like
it's just evading me. I have
I
no
can see
clue
his little
why.
face with the white hair and
Yeah, it's we're getting old. That's what it is.
oh man. Well,
Yeah,
anyway, like
both of
him,
us. Oh my goodness.
So my whole thing is invest in a politician that is working for your, and also I think every politician should have a term limit, bar none.
Hmm.
You cannot be in Congress for 37
Yeah,
years
I agree. I agree.
and not, know
But
all the little loopholes that
all right, here's the ridiculousness on that, right? You know who would have to vote and approve that?
they would have to vote and approve that. These are the same guys that vote to see if they can get a pay raise. How do we do it? How did a
Oh,
public
I'm gonna
servant,
vote. I'm gonna vote against me getting a pay raise.
right? Well, who, public servant, the elected by the people to serve the corporations. Like the system's broken. I mean, I think we
Oh
should
man,
all read
it's
1984 over and over again
but
until we see like we're living in 1984.
look, it's complex in the sense where without the corporations, you don't have the jobs.
Right.
And the jobs give people stuff to do, which feeds the economy and so on and so forth. So if you start cutting and, you know, branding corporations and all that stuff against, everything, then you're going to start affecting the jobs that people have and enjoy and
I'm
things
not
like
saying
that.
I'm saying start putting your money into businesses that are looking out for the community, not businesses that are looking out for the big shareholders.
But what?
That's the
No,
problem.
that's the no. Well, that's not the problem. You know why?
Wait,
Because when we start supporting those small businesses that become big business, you know what they're going to turn into?
no, not Tom Shoes is not one of those big businesses that they've grown and they're huge and
Hmm.
they're still contributing back to society. Those
But
are the
so, are,
type.
but so are other companies. Do you know that there are companies out there that have, like you talk about Walmart, there are companies that have grants that they give to small business.
Mhm.
They and that's their way of supporting. I don't remember which company it was that I went to. I don't even want to name them, but they put aside every year. Get this, they put aside like 20 million bucks, to help support community business, small business in the community. But you know who applies for it?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Right.
And they even have a. I was talking to the representative that he goes out. He tells them, "Hey, we've got programs you can apply for and all this stuff that we can help fund your business."
All right, folks. Next focus on you. We're going to do a detailed list of all the businesses that are giving money to small businesses. Tune in.
Boom.
Tune in.
Yeah. You know what? Let's do that next week. Let's reach out to a couple small, big companies that have money reserved to help small business, and we're going to let you know at least 5 or 6 of them that have those funds set aside for you, because it's money that's just sitting there. And here's what this gentleman told me. I think it was from an MTA, right? Here's what he told me. He said, after a year of that money sitting there, they have to refile their taxes. They have to file their taxes and the claim and all that stuff. That money sits there and it rotates again into the other year. And they have a meeting about this $20 million that's just been sitting there. And
I think we could take 10 million each, and we can do something with that.
I think we could, yeah. Let's go for it. Let's do it right now.
We'll be the only 2 applying. It'd be great.
Here's the caveat. I think the caveat is that there's a lot of paperwork. But you're talking about millions of dollars.
I got a pen. I got time.
You're talking about.
I got 2 pens. All right.
You're getting and it's not money. And it's not money you have to pay back.
Oh, my favorite kind of money.
It's not a loan. So, hello, somebody. Oh, but here's my point. There are companies that have all these things in place, but if people don't do their research and they don't know these things, they're going to say, well, they're not offering anything to the community, but they're offering a ton of stuff. It's just a matter of people taking the time. Here's what I find, that sometimes people just want you to hand them stuff. They don't want to make any effort. They don't want anybody to kind of like, they don't want to, pursue it. They want it just like, here you go, boom, take it.
Yeah, that's a big problem. Our human nature is, if I can get something for nothing, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
If I don't
right
have,
away.
I had that with it's not even human nature. I had a squirrel that I used to feed outside the window every day.
Mm-hmm.
Bread and stuff like that. I didn't just give it to him. One day I was busy. I did not put the food out. When I hear this noise, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And I look out the window, and the squirrel is screaming at the window. It's like, hey, it's free food time. Hello.
But you trained him. Him.
And but you get that mentality is, I get this stuff for free. I don't need to do anything for it. And I wanted it. So, there's paperwork involved. Let's do paperwork. Whatever it takes to get that money out of that fund that's just sitting there. It's a tax write-off for them. It's not a big deal.
Right. Exactly. So, I mean, we should be taking advantage of these opportunities there, and that are being offered, that are out there, and go for it. And I mean, put that paperwork in. If you have to get somebody to fill it out for you, get them to fill it out for you. Hire Legal Shield. They have attorneys.
They will look over the contracts.
They will look over the contracts.
Exactly what you need to do is say, hey, what's the fine print? Because the big print giveth and the fine print taketh away. So absolutely.
Exactly. It's like I was talking to somebody today about something I saw with Amazon. They're offering a bonus, right? But here's the caveat: when they hire you, you have
to work.
You have to show up on time. Now, some of these people, they're like that. They're going to sign up for that $3,000 bonus. At least once or twice, they're going to show up late. Guaranteed.
If they show up at all after the check clear.
Or
if they're smart, they don't get that $3,000 till the end of the year, after working to the end of the year. You can't put that money up front.
No. Are you kidding me? You put that money up front, you'll never see them again.
Yeah, that's like the Discover card. Remember the Discover card? I discovered I could take out a lot of money on the Discover card, and then I discovered I'm broke, and now that they got to discover how to get the money back from me. It's so that that's sign. And what I'm hearing is what you're seeing in California with the couple of thousand boats that are sitting out there, ships with the containers.
Yes, yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
the breakdown is you can't get truck drivers to pull
To
that stuff.
deliver the
Once you
stuff.
get it onto shore, it's got to go onto a truck. And truck drivers are being paid not to work.
They're being paid not to work. What do you mean?
Yeah, but with the pandemic pay and all this, all these little bonuses that they threw in unemployment and all of that. So
That's not
yeah, but if they don't cut that out,
did you get that? No, that hasn't been around for a minute. We only got 2 or 3 of those things.
Yeah, but if you know how to work the system, what I'm hearing is they're making enough not working to be able to stay home and play with their kids. And there's not enough of a gap between what they're getting and what they were making as a truck driver to make it worth their while to get out of the house.
Well, you know that there is such a thing as unemployment insurance. Yes. This is another thing that most people don't know. Some people have been paying into this thing called unemployment insurance all their life and have never used it.
Yeah.
Well, I call it payback. For all the people who have died, not realizing that, not realizing
getting that money is like, I'm making enough to not have to go break a sweat and go work. When that money runs out, then it's like, all right, got to go back to work.
Or you know what? Another side to that is people are transitioning into other types of work. They're on the news. They had a guy on the news that said that he worked for the stock market, and after once in COVID, he had to be home and quarantined and all. There's some good things that actually came out of this whole thing, and he was home and he started realizing how grown his kids were. And he's looking at his kids. He's like,
when did that happen?
yeah. And so as time went on, he started realizing I'm spending too much time at work because my kids.
What's going on with the truck drivers.
Yeah. My kids are going to be in college, and that's when I'm going to realize that I missed their entire childhood. Nah. And so he changed his whole career, man. I don't remember what he got into, but he just kind of left what he was doing.
There's 1,000 work from home opportunities, and people are finding out what to do. What can I do from home?
That's it.
I mean, people are Lori and I talk about it all the time. There's stuff that we do to help you work from home that earn side hustle income or full-time income, depending on what you want to do.
And most people would rather do the hustle or go back to school. Do you know how many people went back to school?
Yeah.
During this time and got their degrees?
I got a PhD. It's a public high school diploma. But that's
and that's all we need to know. I'm just saying. Think about that, though. Think about that. I mean, I know we're assuming that everybody's just kind of like getting a check, but there are people that actually took advantage of this time and said, "I'm going to change my life."
Well, what did you do? You started the Phoenix National Network.
I started Phoenix National Network.
And this is why we can do this at noon on a Wednesday.
There you go.
I'm not sitting in a cubicle office, typing away, doing the prairie dog thing.
I wonder who's here. I wonder who's going to get let go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like people have had an opportunity to rethink their lives, and that's what happens when you give people a chance to think.
That's what they don't want you to do. They don't want you to think. The scariest thing to to the elites is people thinking for themselves.
It's once people start thinking, man, it's a whole new world. It's a whole new world. Remember, we talked about this a while back, where we talked about the W-2 versus the 1099. It's two different worlds, two different mindsets,
two different tax systems too.
Two different tax systems, and so people who have their W-2s, God bless you, but the W-2 folks are really who are the ones who are carrying the whole tax system.
Yeah,
I'm
looking for. I have a picture I took with. I have an app that tracks my miles. So, I drive X number of miles. Says, hey, you get $5.28 off of this trip because you can write it off as a business. So if it's a business trip, then I swipe to the right. If it's a personal trip, I swipe to the left. It keeps track of my mileage, and at the end of the year, I hand that to the accountant and say, here's one of the benefits of working 1099 because I get to write off business expenses.
You know what I also learned? I also learned that there is what some millionaires do with their money. And I was watching a documentary the other day, and they basically they tie their money up in artwork. So sometimes you go in and you see these nice, beautiful pieces of artwork in the gallery, and you're like, wow, they must have spent a lot of money on that. That's them basically protecting their money.
Yeah, there's a book, How Rich People Think. I forgot the guy's name. And it just goes through like, this is how poor people think, this is how rich people think, and this is why you should be thinking this way. Like the poor people live in what I heard today is scarcity.
Right.
And rich people live in abundance, which is abundance. So that people think, oh, I want my slice of the pie. Like there's a limited amount of money. Like, you slice up a pie and then it's done. Like, it's not a money pie.
And that's
out there. There's no edge to that pie.
And that's what we don't get about inflation. Your money, there's only so much money out there. Really, there is only so much money out there.
But they keep printing it, so there's a lot more.
So, see, and that's how inflation works. It's like a supply and demand thing. So you're like, oh, wait, we need to spend more. Let's make more. And of course, let's not forget that there's money that's being shredded as well to try and keep the balance of, funds flowing, currency flowing through the world, so that we don't start burning our money in the fireplaces, because it's not worth anything.
It's happened before. Weimar Republic, before Germany, they literally would take a shopping bag full of bills to get a loaf of bread.
Yeah. Because the inflation rate went up so high, they were printing so much money. So
not for nothing, but have you checked gas prices lately?
I have.
We're looking at hyperinflation right now.
Okay, so I'm looking at a bicycle right now. And maybe a little scooter.
Next big thing is going to be the Uber rickshaw.
I will take you where you need to go.
Yeah, listen, I think Manhattan, those pedal cars are a lot more pedal cars are coming up.
Yeah, people are realizing that they need to make adjustments. So, with that being said, Phil and Oscar are now going to be timing out, and we want to hear from you. So, make your comments in the chat. We are on every Wednesday?
I believe so.
We've been on every Wednesday for a year?
Ever.
Yeah, it feels like forever. Yeah, but we are here. We bring these programs on for you guys, everybody on there. Just focus on you and you, and you. Even you, Oscar.
Yeah. Especially me.
I know you focus on me. I know you've wanted me to change the name for a while now. Not gonna happen because it's focused on you. And so we have this is an opportunity for us to feature those who are on our network as well as those who are watching, in on the platforms as well. So, feel free to reach out to us. Our number is 914-297-7624. That is 914-297-PNBG. So
Don't forget the app.
don't forget the app. Oh, yes. You're so smart. You know that? You're so smart. Don't forget the app, the Phoenix National Network. It is on every app store, so you don't have to worry about if you can find it or not. All you have to do is type in Phoenix National Network, and it will pop up on your phone. And you can actually see some of our partners, connect with them, give them a call. I mean, how many networks can you actually call the people you're watching? I mean, like personally call them, So on our network, we make it accessible for you to reach out to these folks and, get the benefit of their information. We're looking at investors. We talk to all sorts of different financial growth folks. Lori Stye is one of our wealth builders, and she has her programs on here. So don't miss out. Don't make the mistakes that we took years and years of making, trying to figure out how to balance our budget and things like that. Be wise about your life and take the advice from folks who have already traveled the road. What is it that you
hire an expert?
There you go. Oscar is always right. I mean, his gray hair, your gray hair shows everything. Your gray hair shows the amount of wisdom, and my bald head shows all the wisdom. So, yeah.
I didn't know you were going to go there. Like, oh, damn. I started this. Now I got to get out of it gracefully.
So anyway, guys, thank you for watching again, and we will see you next week. Because when you win,
we win.
All right.